Okay, so here we are with yet another He-Man and the Masters of the Universe cartoon collection unboxing, and this is Shadow Weaver. I believe she can get me through the night. Yeah, I'm just gonna sing that song every time I have a figure of Shadow Weaver to open. Shadow Weaver was not a character that was in the vintage line, but she's shown up in most Masters of the Universe lines since then. She's a very popular character. I'm surprised she didn't get a figure in either the Masters of the Universe line nor in the Princess of Power line. I think she would have fit in equally well with either and would have been a pretty popular figure with both boys and girls because everybody liked this character. So, oh well, whatever. Evil Mistress of Dark Magic, it says. Lovely illustration of Shadow Weaver on the back there, casting a spell with the book. She comes with the book. It says, as seen on the Eldritch Mist. I have not seen this episode in a very long time. I probably haven't seen it at all since I was a kid. We see she comes with a book, and I'll try to give you a better look at that in there, but it's got like some specific printing in it, so I kind of wonder if that's illustrations that were featured in the cartoon series. And she has this little crystal ball wand type scepter thing. Looks like what the one the evil Lynn came with, basically. Let's go ahead and get her opened up. Oh, here's the cross-sell artwork. It's the same cross-sell artwork from the others. Bo and Whiplash, I've already opened them up. And then Shadow Weaver herself, it says, includes Eldritch Book of Spells, and says, twist and turn into powerful battle positions. All right, so yeah, that covers everything, right? That's everything we need to talk about with the package, right? Bobby Wald says, it's just a taller, more confident Orko. Well, more mature in certain other ways too. Well, let's be honest. Although I did honestly wonder if maybe she was a member of Orko's species. I did kind of suspect that might be the case, or a species that was kind of similar to Orko's, maybe a species with a common ancestor, because she does have that whole like thing with like her face is draped constantly in a shadow, that she doesn't, her feet don't really touch the ground. She just kind of floats there. Does she even have feet? Could Quentin Tarantino have a relationship with Shadow Weaver? I don't know. I know Hordak. I'm pretty sure he had a thing going on with Shadow Weaver, but I don't know if he had a thing for feet. So there's the scepter, and you can see he's got some paint detail on it, which is nice. And the book, get that out of there. And that's got paint detail on it. I already pointed out the printing on the book. Like I said, to anybody wants to leave a comment and let me know if that was actually in the cartoon, that would be nice if that matches up to what she had in the cartoon. It's not a book that can open and close. It's sculpted into the open position. And here's the cover of the book, and you can see that there's not one but two paint applications on there. So they put some effort into that. And then Shadow Weaver herself. Now, one thing I noticed, and yeah, you're going to get an upskirt shot here, but there's literally nothing up there. She doesn't have any legs or feet in this figure, certainly. And it looks like there's a peg hole so that you can stick a peg stand in there. I wish I'd have thought to actually get Orko out of where I have him. He's in a little bag right now, but I wish I'd thought to get him and try to sit him on a stand, or sit her on Orko's stand. I mean, and see how that looks. Maybe I'll take some pictures later if I can remember to do that. But she doesn't come with a stand herself, unfortunately. I think that would have been a nice thing. She just kind of, her skirt just kind of sits on the ground if you want to sit her on a desk or a table or the floor or whatever. And she does seem to sit on there fairly nicely, but she doesn't quite float like Orko does because she doesn't have a stand. So but yeah, there's a closer look at the figure now that we have her out of the package. And let's go ahead and have a look at articulation. So Shadow Weaver can look down about that far. She can't look up very far. That's about as far up as she can look. She can kind of tilt her head quizzically from side to side, or rotate their head all the way around. Although it does kind of bump into the cape a little bit, so you got to kind of work it. This cape is a piece of soft plastic, soft rubbery plastic. It is removable, so we can take the cape off. I believe this is the same torso underneath that Tila and Evil-Lyn have underneath their breastplates, but that's what she looks like without the cape. Of course, the arms rotate all the way around the shoulders, and they raise up to the sides about that far. And ooh, that came apart very easily. So Shadow Weaver has a single joint of articulation at the elbow, which rotates all the way around, but of course it's going to kind of bump into the elbow a little bit there. So it's at a little bit of an angle. She's got wrists that rotate all the way around, and they have, it looks like a vertical hinge, which is unusual. But it's probably for the best, since she's got that wand. I wonder if that's the same one that came with She-Ra. I wonder if that's why that is. And then Shadow Weaver can rotate all the way around at the waist, but that's it for the articulation, because everything from the waist down is just this motionless skirt that's not going to do anything. And like I said, it looks like it's set up so you can put a stand in there, but she didn't come with a stand. So I guess you got to buy an extra Orko if you want a stand. So anyway, I'm going to pop her head back on. And her head does kind of tuck in to the cowl of the cape, you can see. And she does have that sort of like lower part of the mask, like she's still afraid of COVID. I saw people at the store still wearing masks recently, and I'm not gonna make fun of them, because whatever makes you more comfortable. If you want to wear a mask in the year of our Lord 2025, that's fine. Whatever makes you feel more comfortable. But I will say that what drives me nuts is when I see the people wearing masks and they don't have their nose covered. Because I'm like, if you're gonna wear a mask in the year of our Lord 2025, at least wear it properly. You know what I mean? So you don't have to wear it anymore. I can see somebody being like even in 2020, like at the height of the thing, and just being like, I don't want to cover up my nose because that makes me uncomfortable. Well, you probably, should if you're gonna wear a mask. But everybody's having to wear a mask, and not everybody likes wearing masks, and you want to leave your nose uncovered. Hey, that's on you, I guess. But nowadays you don't really have to wear a mask anymore if you don't want to. So just don't if you don't want to. I mean, go ahead and do if you do want to. Again, I don't care. It's not my face. I don't really, whatever. So yeah, she can actually hold the book fairly well in her hand. I'm kind of surprised at that. So there's not a whole lot to talk about with this figure, as far as like she's got like half the articulation that a figure usually has, but it's Shadow Weaver. I kind of feel like the lack of articulation is she's got as much articulation as she needs. You know what I mean? Like if they tried to give her any kind of joints in the legs, they'd either have to give her like a fabric skirt, or there'd be a bunch of joints interfering in the aesthetic of the figure. I suppose maybe they. I don't know how often do we see Shadow Weaver sitting down? I always just think of her floating around next to Hordak. But yeah, if I'd have thought about it, I probably would have saved the comic book to read for Shadow Weaver. If I'd have realized I wasn't going to have as much to talk about with the figure, if I'd given the least bit of thought to it, I probably would have skipped it on Bow and Whiplash, and then just done the comic book of Shadow Weaver. But she is a really cool figure to do in October, since it's getting close to Halloween. And on my next episode, we're going to get back into the world of G.I. Joe, and we're going to open up this guy, Crystal Ball. I'm really excited about that. It'll be my first G.I. Joe figure for a while. And I've got a bunch of G.I. Joe figures to open up, but I'm going to be kind of concentrating on some spooky stuff for Halloween here lately, because I enjoy Halloween. So we've got some Universal Monsters. We've got the Mego Nosferatu figure to finally open up. I don't know if it's going to be like a whole month's worth of stuff, but I should have some fun things to open up for you here and there, and hopefully more to come. So, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna open up this GI Joe figure, at least, because I think he fits in with the season. Season of the Witch. He's got some serious horror pedigree. We'll talk about that when we get to it. MHD is here and says, "Hello, I want to hear you, but just wanted to say hi. Oh, I won't hear you, but just wanted to say hi. Well, since you won't hear me, I will wave at you." maybe try to watch the episode later when you can hear it. But here I am waving at you. Hello. Hello. All right. So there's that. Bobby Wald says, "Do you see the ninth Ghost Viper that's supposed to go with Crystal Ball is going for pre-order?" I've seen pictures of it online, but I hadn't actually seen that it was up for pre-order yet. It is really cool. I would like to get it. At first, I thought that it was their version of a Night Viper, and it might be like an update on the Night Viper, kind of an homage to the Night Viper. But my first reaction when I saw it was, "Ooh, Night Viper!" But then I saw it had lots of creepy stuff. It had the wolf, I think. Like it had like they recolored timber and like some clear green plastic. I thought it looked really cool, but I haven't got it pre-ordered yet. So I did find funny enough, I actually found him at the store. I found him at Walmart when I was at Walmart the other day, and they had a ton of this guy. I swear they had like it must have been like 3 pegs full of nothing but crystal ball. And I went ahead and snatched them up. And even though I looked at all these crystal balls, and I'm like, there's no way they're going to sell all those crystal balls. They sold all those crystal balls. They were all gone. Next time I went to Walmart, there was one left besides the one that I bought. They only had out of all the ones I left behind there, and like I said, they must have opened up like multiple cases of this guy, or one big case. They only had one left, so he did sell quickly. I kind of figured I knew it sold out fast online, and I kind of figured, well, probably most of the people who really wanted one got one online already, but I guess not because at least in my area, he was a very popular figure. I'll tell you that much. So anyway, I think that's pretty much it for Shadow Weaver. It's up on the 9th. I'll try to keep that in mind. Maybe I can actually pre-order one, and if not, hopefully I'll be able to snag one in the stores like I was with Crystal there. I usually don't have that much luck finding the story exclusives for Walmart in the actual stores. So we'll see. I would like to have that figure though. He is really cool looking. But that's pretty much it for Shadow Weaver, and that brings our Masters of the Universe cartoon collection figures to an end, unfortunately. But we do have more Masters of the Universe on the way because we got more Thundercats and we got more Masterverse. And like I said, we're gonna have a lot of cool Halloween stuff this month. We'll probably open up some DC multiverse if we can, because we just got so much cool stuff to go through. You wouldn't believe. More NECA monsters. I'm excited about those. So anyway, that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure that you like and subscribe and all the fun YouTube stuff down below. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about Shadow Weaver, both this figure specifically and the character in general. And since she's a character who actually has had a number of figures at this point, what do you think is the best figure of Shadow Weaver? Frankly, I'm glad to finally have one that's in scale with the vintage Masters of the Universe. I wanted one since the 80s. I think that Super 7 did a vintage scale Shadow Weaver, but I was kind of turned off by that line once my Skeletor broke the same day I bought him. The leg just snapped right off when I tried to just move it. Not even like trying to force it, just trying to move it like at all. It just snapped right off like it was nothing. I was excited about those figures at first, and I was even planning on getting some for my nephews. But I figured if I'm gonna break it just that easily, like if they'd probably break that thing in like 2 seconds. So I did not. My nephews did not get any He-Man toys until Origins was a thing, and then I got in some figures. So they had fun with them, but I don't think they were like really like super into them. You know, kids these days got other things they're into, so that's fine. But that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. We will talk to you next time. Bye.